You're listening to the Agony Column News Report featuring interviews, phone interviews, reports from live book events and festivals, and conversations with readers. You can find additional news, interviews, book reviews, and more 5 days a week at the Agony Column website at trashotron.com/agony.
I have always known that one day I would return to these streets to tell the story of the man who lost his soul and his name among the shadows of a Barcelona trapped in a time of ashes and silence. These are pages written in the flames of the city of the damned, words etched in fire on the memory of the one who returned from among the dead with a promise nailed to his heart and a curse upon his head. The curtain rises, the audience falls silent, and before the shadow lingering over their destiny descends upon the set, a chorus of pure souls takes the stage with a comedy in their hands and the blessed innocence of those who, believing the third act to be the last, wish to spin a Christmas story, unaware that once the last page is turned, the poison of its words will drag them slowly but inexorably towards the heart of darkness. Julian Carax, The Prisoner of Heaven, Editions de la Lumière, Paris, 1992.
Carlos Ruiz Zafon is the author of the Fog trilogy and Marina. His novel The Shadow of the Wind first appeared in English in 2004. His novel The Angel's Game, set in the same world as The Shadow of the Wind, was released in English in 2009. His newest novel in the same sequence is The Prisoner of Heaven. Thank you for joining me, Carlos.
Hi, how are you?
This is such a wonderful story, and I was so captivated by the way that you've released this sequence of novels set in this same world. I'd like you to talk a little bit about developing this world in your mind and then watching the stories unfold and kind of plucking them out of thin air.
Well, my idea was when I started working on Shadow of the Wind, I already knew that what I wanted to do was to create some kind of labyrinth of stories, a labyrinth made of many stories, many tales, structures in 4 books. And these 4 novels, which would be standalone stories on their own, but they would be heavily connected and intertwined, so to speak, would provide like 4 different doors of entry into this labyrinth. So ideally, this is a story that was going to be some kind of an organic, ongoing process in which the stories feed into each other. Would not be necessarily like a serial or a sequential story, but more like a Chinese box of tales, in which every time you...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?